smoking dad
Germ,
enters the
Germ,
building.
let me know something real quick.
Sure.
Look on your Twitter and see if that's shared live to your Twitter from my Twitter.
Let me check.
They did?
Let me check.
All right.
Why is it not letting me do this?
Guys, I got a new setup, so I don't know if I like this yet. I'll probably have to play with the camera a little bit, but you guys are getting the first action of the new studio tonight.
All
Nice.
right.
I like
There
it.
you go.
It's
I
a little
moved.
more organized.
Okay, well,
It's
Jeremy,
very
there's
chaotic still. But anyway, go over. You saying, Will?
It doesn't show right away, but I did find it. You know what I'm saying, in the feed, so it's there.
Oh, cool. All right.
Hey, Smoking Dad.
But
Oh,
you
yeah.
know what we got to do? Smoking Dad's in the chat. Wrong button.
I was ready to go.
I was like, excuse me?
I didn't look, and I hit the one right next to it. Oh, look at this! And it's
I
the
hate it when
one,
it happens.
the only, Jamie Malloy.
Hey, Jeremy, how you doing?
Good. I want to take a minute and just do a quick 30 seconds of
What's up, Jam?
silence for
Hey, Adam.
Jim Irsay passing this afternoon, owner of the Colts. You know, whether you
R.I.P.
like him as an
What?
owner, as a human being, he deserves the respect of 30 seconds of silence. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Just
So
anytime somebody passes that in it that quick where you find out about it, it was just this afternoon. I think everybody across the league that does anything like this should do that type of respectful thing.
Yeah.
what about Norm?
Oh,
Yeah,
we talked
Norm.
about that last night. George Wendt
Oh.
passed away yesterday. Yeah. Rest in peace.
Norm.
My condolences to them, the cast of tears.
I didn't get to meet Jim real quick, guys, but when I was at the Hall of Fame, when we were walking up, there's that little press booth right there, and he was sitting in the middle of an NFL Network conversation. I don't like to call them interviews; they sound too professional. But he was sitting there, and we sat there and watched for a little bit. But that was as close as I ever got to the guy. So that's my only
He
story
did a
about
lot of philanthropy work, I looked up.
So what's going on, Jerm? What's going on tonight, buddy?
Well, let me start with Nick Sirianni got his extension. I think it's well deserved. He's been to 2 Super Bowls. He's won one. I think him getting an extension was kind of a no-brainer. But as we've seen the last time they won a Super Bowl with a coach that won it for him, that didn't work out so good the next couple of years, did it?
Nope. And I agree with Jeremy. Much deserved. Been to 2 Super Bowls, won one. Will be probably contending for a few more. But yeah, we'll see how this plays out.
I think he has a much better depth of roster than what Doug Peterson had there at Philly.
Oh, amen.
Well,
Way better.
Philadelphia has better management in the upper front office than a lot of teams in the NFL do.
I'd take, dare I say, I take this past Super Bowl's team 10 times out of 10 over that one Peterson led.
Oh, but you got to admit, Big Dick Nick was the best backup quarterback.
Dude, that was the whole what is it called? Oh God, what's that play they did called?
Yeah,
The Philly special.
The Philly
Philly
special.
special was genius.
Everybody does it now. Everybody does
Everyone
it.
does.
We have a version of the Philly special.
But it involves an offensive alignment.
And I'm sorry, how you doing, Jamie? I didn't get to say hey to you.
By the way, hi, Jamie.
I'm good.
So,
Can't complain.
Do you have an opinion on the Nick Sirianni extension there, Jamie?
Yes, I do. I think it is well deserved, well earned for him, especially him being a fellow native Western New Yorker. like myself, and I think he's really I think going for that job after Doug Peterson, but really going for a job like Philly's tough because the Philly fans are very hostile. We know about the history of they were even mean to Santa Claus back in the day in 1968. That was prior to the merger, but anyway, that's what's but Sirianni, I think he's handled everything with I think he's a class act. I think he's a good guy, but I think he's handled that job well with grace and dignity, and all of his interviews are great too. He's a classy guy. I'm not really the biggest Eagles fan, but I'm appreciative of good people doing good things, and he's that guy.
JB, can I ask JB something? It wasn't one of the topics, and I really want a quick
Sure.
one on this because I know Jeremy has a show to run. What are your thoughts on the Bills and the rest of the AFC East just being announced for Hard Knocks?
Originally, I didn't like it because I know the purpose of that show. A lot of teams that have gone on it, it's resulted in like a jinx or whatever. But I think I think McDermott and Bean had to take it this time because they asked them, and I think they're. And I think they're doing it as a way to like commemorate the last season at Highmark. That's how they're going to do it on Hard Knocks, kind of like how the Giants did it in 2023 to commemorate their 100th season. I feel like if you commemorate your season with Hard Knocks right, it can be done in a successful way.
Right.
Okay.
Well, in truth, the reason why they put a lot of those teams on their Hard Knocks is because they're teams that are up and coming, or they're bad teams in the first place. Like when the Lions went on there, that was their first year, and they went 3-13-1. So I mean, it wasn't because they were a bad team. It was just they were just showing how the culture is changing in Detroit, and that's basically all it is about with these teams that are bottom pack teams. And Buffalo, this is why I was surprised. I thought, Buffalo, I said, wow, they actually put a really good team on there.
Alex Alberto, that is a great question. Right now, I think naturally it's going to be the three daughters are going to get the team for now until they decide what they're going to do with it.
Lord
That's
help them.
normally how that goes when there's a death in the family like that. It goes to the next ones in succession. So
I gotta fix this camera, because like the view, I'm just perfectly right in line with the
I
Yeah,
see
the
that.
comment section. Yeah.
All right, I
Hey.
could just take that off for now. That's no problem. Here we go.
All right. Yeah, Jeremy, just till I figure out that, like I said, this is my first night in this new area set up, so I got some kicks to fill out. Everyone does in their new place.
If you mirror
You're
your
good.
camera, it'll flip you automatically to the other side of it, and then you'll be right above your name.
Really?
It's true.
I'm usually not. All right. Damn it, people. Let's try it.
Just try it.
So
Let's see how it
Jeremy
looks.
Work it out. This is the best way of doing it on live. Just work it out.
Yeah, it's live and learn. That's what we do.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I gotta do that, and then Jeremy can turn back on the words. Gotcha. All right, cool.
And
Did it
wait
work?
for it to flip. It didn't flip.
Nope.
What do you mean? I'm underneath my name now.
No, you're not.
He's on his
Not
side.
on our
yeah.
side.
Not on
Oh,
us.
well, on my side I am.
Yeah, on your side.
Real quick, Jeremy.
Probably not.
The Ricky Khalid, whatever, the dude on Facebook up there, does
Seacop.
not know who we are.
No.
I am at Sports Talking It, and I am on Driving to the Top. We do open mic on Tuesdays with Jeremy. We also do Thursday nights with Jeremy on the UFL Talk. Wednesday is usually my show, but my co-host is waiting to get out of the hospital. He's got a bad knee infection, and he said he's going to be released for Friday at some point. So that's good news for Rich. And Jamie, I'm going to kick it over to you, and you can tell Ricky who you are.
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you for the question, Ricky. I'm Jamie Malloy. As Adam said, I am a regular contributor on his podcast, Driving to the Top Productions. I host a New York Subway Conversation baseball chat podcast every Tuesday night at 8:00 with a co-host named Joe Dalio on StreamYard at Driving the Top Productions. And then at 9:00, I do open mic night with Adam and Jeremy. And then, like I said, I contribute to the UFL show every Thursday. And then now Adam and I were coming on here every Wednesday night to give back to Jeremy like he does for us. And I think we can all say that Jeremy's very good at what he does. And this is a great platform other than our own, Adam, to also talk sports on too. So thank you, Jeremy, for that.
Jeremy's taught me
no
so
problem.
much. Jeremy took me
I
under his wing. So.
I enjoy doing this a lot. I've been doing it now. This is going to be my 4th season of doing this right now. So thank you, Go Pack Go. You know, it's nice when your rivals tell you you're a good guy.
Are we getting one of your rivals tonight? Is Beard coming on?
Yeah, the Bearded Packer fan usually shows up about 9:30, but he hasn't seen the message yet, which means he's still on the other show. He'll be here. But tonight we're gonna. Mike has a special training program through his work, and he can't be here tonight, so we won't have our Viking fan.
All right, okay. Let's get back to the topics. So now that we cleared up.
So we did. He asked this question, and I'm going to say, you know what? Everybody thought the same thing when Sheila Ford Hamp took over in 2021 after Martha stepped down, and look where the Lions are at now. So don't think that women can't run a football team.
Yeah, look at Virginia House McCaskey. Yeah, the Bears are in. That doesn't count. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I misspoke. Some things got my tongue. Yeah.
I think besides, I mean, whether it's a gender thing or not, you just need to have some kind of common sense to run a damn organization. Jesus.
Oh, by far.
I mean, you got William Clay Ford didn't run that franchise well either, and he was an old F. Rest in peace, Will.
I'm not dead yet. No, I'm kidding. You said Will, and I said I'm not dead yet.
William Clay Ford, WCF. Like, what the fuck?
All right.
So terrible, B.
Can we, like, Jeremy, I know we talked a little bit about it last night, but did you see that only one player from each team can go to the Olympics?
Yeah.
One player from each team. Are you? What are your guys? I don't even know what your guys' thoughts are on this whole flag
football.
It's flag US.
Since it's going to be in the middle of the summer, and basically they're only going to miss training camp, but they're going to be training for that anyways. Are they really missing anything? Because it's just modified training camp Olympics.
Yeah.
No, it's gonna be flag football in the NFL pretty soon, so you might as well start training for it.
It's the Pro Bowl, basically Pro Bowl Olympics.
Well, who said Japan kicked our asses that one year?
That was me last year.
Yeah.
Was that you last night, Jeremy?
Yeah. They sure the hell did.
Like, yeah.
41-7.
Now Jamie likes it. He thinks there's gonna be all kind of trick plays and shit off the wall plays going on.
I'm not excited for it. I could care less.
I'll be curious to see if they taking 14 guys, because you know we have 32 teams, and how big are these teams for flag football?
Yeah.
Well, I think because it's only 7 men on a field in flag football, like what we see at the Pro Bowl, the same thing they do at the IFFA level, which is what the Olympics are going to be basing it off of, is the International Flag Football Association. Oh God, Dad's going Rapper's Delight in the comments here. A MAS, a TER, a G with a double E. I said I go by the name of Master G.
Nice smoking, Dad. Let's go.
Dad going back.
Heck yeah, smoking, Dad.
The first real rap song from top to bottom was that song by the Sugar Hill Gang in 1978. Okay, the first one in mainstream.
Yeah,
radio.
I like Rapper's Delay. It is a good song.
The next one that was closest that actually came out before it, and everybody forgets, was Rapture by Blondie.
Mm-hmm. Tina Marie did that too.
Mm-hmm.
She was around.
All around the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, and then
Go ahead, Jeremy. I was stealing the show. I started becoming a host.
Yeah, it's okay. I appreciated it because we kind of went squirrel like on Tuesday night.
Squirrel.
So, hey, actually, the question you should be asking, like, okay, so if we're going to have to send a representative from every team, who do you think your team's going to send?
No one.
Considering they only need one down lineman, I think only 5 teams are going to send an old lineman.
Mm-hmm.
So are you saying
Dan's
that we're going to
still
send Panay?
Dan's still going.
I love it. That's great. Rapper's Delight's great.
It is.
I'll tell you the truth, I think the person that's
Imagine
going to go
if-
for the Lions is Amon St. Brown.
I was just going to say DK Metcalf probably for the Steelers.
Well,
I thought. Oh, go ahead, JP.
The next subject is the tush push missed by 2 votes.
Good.
And Lions were one of the 10 votes that voted against it. They needed 24. They got 22. And what's weird is last year, like I said, not this year, last year, the Lions were one of the ones that proposed it. Remember that, B?
The Lions also pulled out of a deal too. I forget what it was.
Dan Campbell never had anything against the push. So whatever is said, the Lions never were against the tush push. Never.
Yeah.
So you just got to stop it. That's what Dan Campbell said. You just got to stop it.
This is exactly what we're doing. This is an NFL-based show, and we mostly cover NFL-based news on this, and then we're going to be doing division reviews right now. So, yes, this is what Adam's going to be doing until Rich comes back.
Yeah, Rich, Josh, just to let you know, I know he's your buddy, but Rich will be hopefully getting released on Friday. I'm kind of glad this rule got not accepted because it really would have sucked because running backs couldn't be pushed. Figure out a way to stop it. That's why we play defense, right?
Exactly. Well, the lack thereof.
I mean, what they allow us to play defense.
Right. I mean, you used to be able to put your foot on your defensive lineman's ass as a linebacker just to jump up high enough to block a kick. That's not legal anymore.
Yep.
I think if the
NFL
would have
Quinn Cook. Good to see you, brother.
Quinn Cook.
I think that the NFL would have accepted them not to have the tush push would have showed you how much creativity this league has, which is zero. That's the whole point of this.
But this one's a funny
if they
comment.
Wouldn't have put running backs. Oh, sorry, John.
This is a funny comment from Go Pack Go. The Panthers GM's wife is who wanted Bryce Young.
Yeah, I think so. And I can't stand Tepper, so anybody but him.
I was gonna say, if the Packers wouldn't have thrown running backs in there, do you think this would have got voted?
I think if it had been just the QB sneak push, yes. But when they added even a running back, couldn't have it done. Happy birthday, Josh.
Happy birthday.
I don't know who my guy is, but that's not my son's birthday. His birthday's on June 10th, Germ.
June 10th.
His first night home was Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals, where Marc-Andre Fleury made the save.
He says it's Allen.
Oh, Josh! Is it Josh Allen's birthday today, James?
Let's see. It may have been yesterday, but let me see.
I think it was yesterday. Yeah.
Yep, the QB.
Because the other Josh Allen.
It's today. It's today.
Oh, it's today.
29.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, John.
Happy birthday, Josh Allen.
Happy birthday, Josh Allen.
That's so funny.
Best QB
my son's name is Josh Allen.
Best QB since Jim Kelly.
Yep.
And yeah, but But guess what? Allen won an MVP. Kelly never did.
Well, on
But
flip side, Kelly was in 4 Super Bowls, and Josh Allen still hasn't been one. So it's an offset balance, you know.
Right, and plus the go ahead, Jeremy. And then I'll
that was our pushback. That was my pushback too. I was like, well, Kelly got him to 4 Super Bowls, and Josh Allen.
Well, however, though, Thurman won an MVP during one of those Super Bowls in 1991. So, but that's when the NFL actually cared about running backs actually winning the MVP. Now it's all just the quarterback. But
yeah, pretty much. So, the other one that's still up for vote is the playoff seeding. They haven't had enough votes turned in yet, so that one's still on the table.
No, that one got taken off.
That one got taken off. Yeah, the Lions took it off.
The Lions took it off because it made no running ground even before it got started.
This is the state of the NFL. You got everybody up and more about tush push, but no playoff seat. That's not important at all.
Well, it's not. You win your division, you should get a home game. Period.
That's not what the proposal's about.
Before we get
the proposal about to win a division, if you have a higher, if your team you made the playoffs with a higher record than the division winner, then you should be playing them at home. In other words, if the division record is 9-7 and the other team that made the playoffs is 11-6, that division winner goes there and plays them at home.
Then there's no point in having divisions anymore.
No, because the division winner is still an automatic bid. That's all it is. It's an automatic bid.
You win your division, you should get a home game. I don't care. You should get a home game.
Well, there's been multiple times in Major League Baseball that the division winner didn't get a home game because the other team had a better record to start.
Yeah, it happens in hockey too.
Exactly. The 2005 Yankees, when they played the Angels, they won the division, but they had to go on the road to Anaheim for games 1 and 2.
Yep. I'm just saying and prior to 1945, there was only 8 teams in the NFL, and they didn't have divisions. It was just 2 conferences. The playoff seeding was exactly what it is, your record.
Kind of like the UFL.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, you're in your conference, you win your division, you should get a home game for a playoff game.
But
if you were in a division like the NFC South, go F yourself.
Or the AFC South.
Because those teams suck in that division. I mean, when you're fighting for the division title and you win with a 7-9 record, that means you deserve to have a home team. I mean, a home game, because the team that went out there and actually won 12 games deserved to actually be that one. You know what I'm saying? It's like Minnesota last year. Minnesota didn't deserve to go on a road because they had a 14-3 record. But yet they had to go play the Rams, which was to their undoing.
And because of the fires, they had to move it to Arizona, remember?
Yeah. I mean.
So neither team had a home game.
Not in that case.
I don't know. I just feel you win your division, you still win your division. It doesn't matter.
Yes, but people have different opinions on it.
Yep. But at the same time, the NFL Award Board came up with a new award this year, and I like this award. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but it is introducing the Protector of the Year award given to the league's best offensive lineman.
I love it.
I agree with that, because linemen are an important position in football, but they never get the recognition. They never get the recognition or the criticism that they earn.
Well, they get plenty of criticism.
Go back, and I'll tell you a story after somebody says something. It's what Nick Saban said, but whoever wants to
go ahead, Jamie.
Go ahead, Jamie.
I was watching before the draft started. I was watching the college game day version of it, because they had McAfee, had Saban, had all the the superstar guys on there. And Saban said, I would take an offensive lineman first because they never get criticized, even when they're a bust.
Yeah. I'm excited. There have been so many phenomenal O-linemen throughout history.
And they get only credit they get is usually Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a pretty high honor.
Yeah. It's a pretty high honor, but during the year, You know, you got quarterbacks out there winning MVP, but a lot of MVPs can't be made unless they have that offensive line, or if it's a defensive player, defensive line. So
games are still won in the trenches. That's
exactly
that's never changed. Whether if it was 1945 or even now with all the trick plays and the passing offenses, you still have to win in the trenches and be a tough team.
Yep.
And let's face it, I don't care what anybody says. The top two lines in the NFL right now is the Eagles and the Lions.
Amen. Yep.
I mean, there's others that are close, but I think those are the two best offensive lines in the league right now.
And why do you think the tush push wasn't banned either? That's in the trenches right there too.
Mm-hmm. It is. Technically, it's in the trenches because once they get to the line, that's when they push.
Kind of like this new setup. I can sit way back now.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
I'm just getting used to this, boys.
Yep. You know what you need is just a little better lighting.
It's a classy chair.
Yeah, I like the chair.
Good.
I like.
Look, it was in my basement, and I was like, I don't have to sit on this dining room chair. I'm gonna bring this up, and I'm gonna go for the relaxed look. Yes, I know I don't have any other lamps except for the one on the fan, but you know, we'll worry about that later. You know, we still have kinks, like I said.
Jamie has a little better lighting tonight than usual too.
Yeah, it's not red.
Thanks, I fixed it with magic. Anyway,
amazing. So yeah, I love the award, and you guys all hit the points that I wanted to say. That games are won in the trenches, 100%. So I think that an alignment award has been a long time coming, and that's why, if you notice, it's usually been an offensive or defensive lineman that wins the Walter Payton Award when there's been other positions that have been deserving, but they're already recognized through the award. So now they'll be able to change that.
Yep.
Why did they move the onside kick back a yard? I didn't understand this. Maybe someone could break this down for me.
They moved it back a yard for how the receiving team lines up. If that makes sense with the new alignment, because they're so close together, they realized it made it harder for the onside kick to be performed properly.
So does the ball still go to the 45 or does it go to the 44?
It's going to go to the 44, and the players will line up that yard ahead, so it gives them that extra yard before they meet with the other team.
Okay. And I also didn't. I also didn't like how only losing teams can use it. If you're winning, you can't use it.
Right. I don't like that, and I also don't like they still have to announce it.
Yeah. It's BS. It's stupid.
That's the worst.
Oh, I'm gonna do an onside kick. I'm not only just.
It was attempted a total of 12 times last year and successful once, which is the lowest percentage it's been successful since the onside kick was introduced.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I don't like how you have to announce it. I don't.
It's stupid. You're
the whole situation is just dumb. That's what it is.
Pathetic.
It's the NFL trying to be creative and not being creative.
Now that they did a difference in where they line up, it makes more sense on why they have to announce it. You know what I'm saying?
True.
But at the same time, know how they're lining up and you know what they're doing.
Yep.
Just don't make sense.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't have to tell them about it, though.
Yeah, because look at it this way. The Colts were leading at the half when Pat McAfee did his that one time. They wouldn't have made it to the
classic.
They wouldn't have made it to the Super Bowl if it wasn't that for that play, because they ended up winning the game by 4 points, and that one turned into a touchdown to start the half.
Oh yeah, true.
What was the other rule change?
Well, the ones that automatically pass through. Oh yeah, the other one that they're still voting on that hasn't been done yet was about the defensive holding and the illegal use of the hands not being a automatic first down.
Oh yeah, everything can be.
Go ahead, Adam.
Everything can be videoed now. You can challenge a penalty just like the UFL now.
Right. It's actually a review system automatically on any questionable call. Also on the hits.
Replay assist you're talking about, right, Jeremy?
Yeah, the replay assist. Yeah. Any hit that could be considered a finable offense, it can be replayed right away now.
But the one thing about the replay assist, that it's quick though, and they just say after replay assist, they don't have to go under the hood and like, take 40 minutes to look at it.
Right, they got 30 seconds.
Yeah, and it can be challenged too. Isn't that correct, Hurricane? It can be challenged. Like a coach can say, "Hey, I think that's a defensive pass interference. Can you take a look at that?" Because I've seen that.
But they have to word it correctly. I read that it also has to be like the UFL, and they have to have the right numbers. They have to like be a ref on the field.
Mm-hmm.
And if you get the number wrong, and they look at the play and see that number not doing anything, they're not going to call it.
And you lose your challenge. You
do lose your challenge.
Yeah, they did that. I just watched a game in the UFL. There was a Panthers and some team. I think it was like not last week, but the weekend. Yeah, and they had that same thing. So that's a good thing. I like that.
Yep. And then last week the Panthers saved themselves, and the coach redeemed himself because he's like that number on that guy. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay. That's gonna be something to watch. Go ahead, Jerm.
On a side note, I did see a video where Travis Hunter is failing as a wide receiver right now at camp. Couldn't catch a cold if it was in a bucket.
That's funny. I saw a different video of him catching everything.
No, I'm serious. They just did one where it was a drill and it had to do with awareness that they're doing to improve hands. And it has like a setup where they're like a candle-shaped item that are being dropped at different angles, and he has to keep up with it.
Oh, yeah.
He couldn't keep up. He couldn't keep the awareness, and his peripheral is not as good.
Well, that's why he plays defense. Just not taught to cut balls. Just bat him down.
Yeah, but they're trying to use him because he's a two-way player.
Yeah, there we go. Would the Saints have won the Super Bowl if they had to declare that onside kick? Telling the other team what you're doing is not football, in my opinion.
No, it's not.
Amen.
Oh, man.
What's up, Brent?
Hey, Brent.
Well, real quick,
what's happening, Brent?
Before we get going, I'm going to play the intro in the middle here, the hip-hop one, give us a little minute breather, and then we'll get back into it with the AFC South and NFC South reviews.
Hey yo, it's time to roar, get loud, let's ignite. Jeremy B in the house, we keeping it tight. Every weekday at 11, we ready to ride. Lions Talk Live, come and join the pride. Waking up early, it's that morning grind. Tune in to the show, leave the troubles behind. Jeremy B's the king, with the voice like thunder. Every word he spits, it's a lyrical wonder. Got the lions around, sharp and fierce. When we hear one pride, you can't help but feel your heart pierce. Talking all the topics, keep it real, keep it raw. With a Lions mentality, we're ready for the roar. One pride, it feels right. Jeremy B bringing the heat, morning light. Every weekday at 11, we taking flight. Lions Talk Alive, yeah, we ready to bite. One pride, hear us loud. Jeremy's in the zone, making us proud.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
All right. Yeah. I like having the different styles of music. It appeals to everybody then. You're not singling anybody out. I love them both.
They're both very good, Jeremy. I like them too.
Yeah, you need a country one now, and
the country one. No, I'm not a Cowboys fan. That ain't happening.
Hey, people listen to country that are fans of teams.
I'm joking. I sing country music. So.
Are we starting with the AFC or NFC, boys?
We're gonna go
let him host it.
We're gonna go AFC South first.
Sorry,
so the team that was at the bottom was the Titans. Does anybody expect that to change? And what is your window of wins from lowest to top? I'm gonna start with you, Will, for the Titans.
I got them between like 5 to 7 wins, and I got them with 5.
Okay, Beastrilla.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go with Will on that one. I don't even know if they make 5. They might have 4. I just don't. I'm their quarterback situation. I just don't think they should have picked a quarterback in the first round. But that's just my opinion.
They got Trevor Lawrence 1.0 and Daniel Jones there to back up AR now.
No, Daniel Jones is with the Colts.
Mm-hmm.
Talking.
Oh, that's right. Wrong one. Oh, the Titans have
They
Cam
ain't got
Ward, right?
nobody though. They got Mayo as a backup. I guess if they're gonna go to that backup system, Cam Ward and Mayo. But anyway,
Adam,
yeah.
what do you think?
They still have Will Levis and Braden Allen.
Yeah.
So they did bring in Calvin. They have Calvin Ridley, obviously. I don't know why they brought in Van Jefferson. I have no idea. Tyler Lockett. This is an aging wide receiver core, which I don't know if this is going to help Cam Ward or not, because sometimes vets are not good leaders.
Mm-mm.
They want to just play and go home.
Right.
Obviously a couple rookies on the back burner. I say, and they only brought in a couple guys too on defense. I'd say 5 to 6 wins right in that area.
Okay.
I mean, I haven't even looked at their schedule or anything, so this is all winding it.
Right. What do you think of the Titans and how they're going to finish this year?
I think 5 to 7 wins, but I think it's going to lay the foundation of hopefully something good. I think Cam Ward's stats through 17 games will be good. I think he's going to show his improvement each week. And if he's getting better each week in the season like this and they win 5 to 6 games, I think Tennessee can go into next year feeling good that Ward can be their guy. And if they can replace that aging core with wide receiver core with younger receivers, that's only going to help Cam Ward even more.
Let's just hope Jeremiah Smith falls their way.
Yeah, what happens if they finish in last? Do they take Archie?
Yep.
I think the Saints get out. But let's get into that later.
Okay. So I actually kind of agree. I had them at that five wins. I'm not going to put them below that because I think they can get that. I said their ceiling is more than likely 8. I like doing that 3-game window instead of just a 2-game window. So I think it's 5 to 8, but that's not enough to move them out of at most 3rd place in the division. They'll be floating at the bottom again. Next up in 3rd place, we have the Jags, who mortgage their future for Travis Hunter.
And where's Dylan?
Okay, I'm gonna start with Jamie this time. What do you think about the Jags this year?
I think that was the move I think they had to mortgage their future because their future is going to be a new stadium. So they figure, let's just try to bring in some excitement with Hunter. I do like their coach though, Liam Cohen. He's a young up and coming coach. He's from the Sean McVay tree, and I think it's an upgrade from Doug Peterson to have a young up and coming star like that for Jacksonville. He's got that reputation of being one of the better young coaches. I'm going to say 5 to 6 for Jacksonville. But again, it's like Tennessee. It's building up a solid foundation in year 1 for Coach Cohen and beyond.
All I have to say is Duval.
Hey, let's just keep it rolling now. Adam.
I'm not a Jags fan, so this is really I can't see them doing more than 4 to 5 wins. I really can't. I don't know why. Even with this young core, I have no faith in Lawrence. Now, if Nick Mullins comes in, we know he can sling the ball around, and he might be able to throw the ball to these rookies. And he might be able to throw the ball to these rookies like deep. And we know Thomas is a deep threat. We know Hunter can be a over the middle and a deep threat. So I don't know. I'm just not a Trevor Lawrence fan. And then they also have Trevor. They also have ETN too, and I am not a fan of him. I thought they were going to draft another running back to take the deal. They did get who is that? Cutton? Is that his name?
And LaQuinn Allen from Syracuse in the 7th round.
Yeah.
All I know is you said something about going deep. That's what she said. B.
Glad I said it.
Actually, I got a little bit more hope than you guys do for Jacksonville. I'm
They
putting
are in that
them,
weak division, though, B still, and I do want to classify that. So, I mean, the ceiling's wide open, but I'm not a Jacksonville guy, so that's just me.
Hey, I'm not either. I can tell you that. But I'm looking at anywhere between, because of the weak division, I'm looking at 8 to 9 wins for them. And the reason why, you keep forgetting about Brian Thomas Jr. That dude was tearing it up in the last 3 quarters of the season. I mean, just literally tearing it up.
That was
I think Joey Lawrence can find him all the time. It's fine.
Joey Lawrence.
Yeah, that's what I call him. Joey Lawrence.
Who was the quarterback slinging the ball to them? It wasn't Lawrence. It was
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones. Yeah.
Mac Jones, bitch.
Yeah. It's all right.
But he's not even on the team anymore.
That's all right. Joey Sunshine to come in there and do something.
I feel the same way with the Titans. It's 5 to 8 wins. They did, like, you mortgaged your future for Travis Hunter, and like JB said, his reflexes aren't on point right now. So I don't have much faith in them, even though I do like ETN, and I did like Lawrence in college and ETN because I'm a Clemson fan, but no, still Lawrence is not doing much. So 5 to 8 wins, but I got them at 5.
I have them at 4 to 7 wins, and they'll be lucky to get 5 because Daniel Lawrence, Trevor Jones, same person.
Right.
Statistically, they're the same person with the same exact team results. Picking in the top 5 every year, made the playoffs once, won a game because of their kicker.
Overpaid.
Yep.
And overpaid their QBs. All right. Next up, you got the Indianapolis Colts, who took second place in the division last year, which wasn't saying much because it wasn't a playoff appearance. What do you got? What do you got them at, B? They're Mr. Will Vogel.
I got them between 6 and 8 wins. I got them at 6 wins. You got Daniel Jones backing up AR-15, who's not good, and Daniel Jones, who's not that good. So I don't have faith in the Colts, actually. Even though I did like their draft pick last year a lot, too late to, and their defense is decent, I still have them at 6 wins.
Yes, Josh, before you got in there, we did a moment of silence for Josh Ursay.
We did.
It's a sad day for the Colts organization. And as much as I hate to say it,
was he even sick?
He's been dealing with stuff his entire life. I think it was cancer, right? Isn't that what he was fighting, or cirrhosis of the liver, or some stuff like that? I can't remember which one it was. It was either cancer or cirrhosis of the liver, and he died in his sleep this afternoon. So it was during it. He died during a nap.
I mean, if you gotta go, that's the best way to go.
If you die in your sleep, that's the best thing. And we heard the story about Gene Hackman and his wife, and you find out that she was dead 24 hours before he was, and he's dealing with dementia. So he probably didn't even realize his wife was dead.
Mm-hmm.
So I have, unfortunately, I got 6 wins.
But
Jeremy,
to the organization, I say rest in peace. To the fans that hated him, I say congratulations, because they're celebrating it the same way Lions fans did when William Clay Ford died.
No one should be celebrating death.
I know they shouldn't, but I know they are, because I've already seen it.
Hey, Jeremy, guess what this setup will be good for?
What?
Watch along Saturday.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, it's perfect. You don't even have to have a dog cam; it's there. Yeah, but yep. B did his, didn't you?
Nope, that was me. I said 6 wins.
Did you give one, B, or is it your turn?
No, I haven't. It's my turn.
Go ahead.
Which is funny. I want to hear what everybody said about the Jaguars, and about Joey, Joey Sunshine, but the Indianapolis Colts are in way worse of a predicament than the Jaguars are. So I can't see 8 to 9 wins. Sorry, Brett. I think they're going to be the third place team in that division because their roster isn't even as good as Jacksonville's without the quarterback situation, and the quarterbacks are dumps. Richardson he's scared of everything, basically a big dude that's scared of everything, and then you got Daniel Jones who don't care where the receivers are at. So, I mean,
no faith in the Notre Dame kid.
No.
Who?
And he's got
Riley Leonard.
If he gets in there, it's bad for Indianapolis. So they're gonna be in third place. Just
never know. It could be a Brock Purdy situation. He comes in and wins out the rest of the season, gets them to the
playoffs. Yeah. Okay.
I'm just playing.
I know.
Adam, you gave your take on him, right?
No, I did not.
Okay, go ahead.
I did not. So I'm kind of glad I have Ward on my defense for my dynasty team because there's going to be a lot of defense on this team because they're going to be run all over and probably lit up. I mean, this division is going to be horrible. This is that argument that everyone has. Oh, why do they get a home game? They still won their division. It doesn't matter. I'm not saying the Colts are going to win this division, but I'm in that 5 to 7 range, maybe 5 to 8 range, depending on what quarterback we get, like we just talked about. And is Michael Pittman going to show up this year, or is Josh Downs going to carry it? Is Pierce going to be the main guy again like last year? A lot of questions on this team, but I can't see more than 5 to 8 wins.
Right, Jamie.
I see 7 to 8. I think Anthony Richardson is going to start the first 5 games. Will win a couple. Fans will get mad at him. Throw his butt out of there. Then I think Danny Sunshine Jones comes in and actually maybe kind of plays a Sam Darnold role. We're in a better situation. Wins them a few games because I think he has better talent around him in Indy and a better line than what he had with the Giants. And then Riley Leonard, I think they could use. If the Colts really want to get creative, I think maybe you bring him in and run your own version of a tush push with him, or bring him in for running packages because he's a dynamic runner. But yeah, I think the Colts are going to have somewhere between 7 to 8.
See, the Colts for me, they're my widest margin of win window because I could see them getting 9 wins and taking second place in the division. And I could also see them getting 3 wins and having the first pick overall. I don't know where to put them. They're that bad because there's no consistency. And they're going through another coaching change and they're doing all this stuff. All of it combined.
Now they're going through new owners too.
Right. Mm-hmm. And now you got 3 guys that you don't know who's going to start because Anthony Richardson at one point looked like a Keely Smith last year.
That's being nice.
Jamie referenced Sam Darnold for Danny Jones, and I think Danny Jones knows how to play in prime time, unlike Sam Darnold.
No, really?
Dude, Sam Darnold couldn't play in prime time to save his life.
Yes. You're like, what? No.
All right. And now we're to the cream of that crop, the only one that actually might be a playoff team. We have the Texans. And I'm going to start with you, Jamie. What's your window of wins for the Texans? And remember, they have their entire offensive line getting healthy is the main thing.
Even though and that's with trading Laramie Tunzel too. But anyway, I think I feel like I got in between like mad they're the Texans to, hey, the sky's the limit for them. That's just the Texans, I think, are the Texans no matter where you put them. But I can see 8 to 10. But I would say 8 to 10. Yeah, CJ Stroud did have a quote unquote sophomore slump, but he still led him to the playoffs. And honestly, if he fell victim again to the Kansas City Chiefs again, benefiting from the refs again. And I feel like Houston was in that game where they could have knocked off the Chiefs, and so could have many other teams prior to that. But I think the Texans are one of those teams where the more CJ Stroud plays, they're gonna eventually reach AFC championship status. Because I think the first 2 years that's the difference between them and some of the other teams. It's not so much the talent, it's the youth and experience it's just about them gaining more experience as a football team, the Houston Texans.
Absolutely. Adam.
All right, so we're going to line Christian Kirk up in the slot. Then we're going to have Nico on the outside and Melchi, unless Higgins or Noel beats out Melchi. I think Melchi's the only real question mark that one of these rookies could beat out for wide receiver 2. That's just my own personal opinion. Is Joe Mix? Go ahead. What?
Don't forget Tank Dell's coming back off of his injury too.
No, he's out.
He's out for how long?
He's out for the whole year.
The whole year.
Jesus, man,
he's already on my IR in Dynasty.
No pun intended. He can't catch a break.
Oh, he caught a break.
That's one thing he can catch.
I meant health wise, he can't catch a break.
So is Joe Mixon going to help Woody Marks or not? Like I said, these veterans aren't big on helping people lose their jobs. That's just any business. I don't care. Not really taught. They didn't do anything big on defense. I think this team could go 10, 11 wins.
Because of the division they're in. This team
they have a decent team too. This is probably the strongest team in the South.
It is the strongest team in the South, and I agree with that. And if everybody doesn't think about it, on the negative side of it, they can sweep their division, and all they have to do is win 4 games, and they're a 10-win team. Right?
Mm-hmm. I'm from Pittsburgh, so Jagoffs is nothing new to me, buddy.
Yeah. Isn't Robbie a Pittsburgh fan?
Yeah, he's a Pittsburgh fan too.
That's how I knew.
So,
all right,
Robbie,
B,
I love it.
Time for your opinion, B.
I think they're going to finish the same what they did last year, 10-7. I think they have a crappy division, which they should take advantage of, and they're gonna win a couple of those games. I think that there was the offensive line took a huge loss. They lost a lot of players on their offensive line that were really good starters. And I don't know why they traded them off the line, if it was financial issues with the team or whatever the case may be. But then they replaced them with a ragtag offensive line that they have now. So Mixon is probably going to be their saving grace this season as long as he can stay healthy. And once they get into the playoffs, though, I don't think they're going to make it far either. But they are going to get in the playoffs, and they are going to win that division. But like I said, they're not going to get – I don't think they're going to get more than what they got last year as far as wins are concerned.
I completely agree. Will?
I agree with being 9 to 11 wins. I got 10.
Yeah, I was doing 9 to 12 because of the division being so bad, and I looked at the fact that they can sweep their division. And then you look at their outside of the division schedule they have, and they have nine home games. So I think it ends up being 10 and 11 wins at the end of the season, automatically, because they're going to win at least 4 or 5 of those games outside the division. So I think 10 wins is actually right where it goes. They end up 10-7, but they have the shot at being 11-6.
Yep.
And Brent DeWitt agrees with all of us too. 10 wins sounds about right.
Yep.
And it's just because the rest of that division's so bad, and they are a good team. They have good pieces on both sides of the ball. They just re-signed Derek Stingley Jr. to a nice contract because he earned it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you remember his first year he was injured. He didn't hardly play. Second year he came out, he balled out a little bit. Last year he played great for them. So that kudos to him for staying healthy for a year. Everybody
I
was
think
like,
bringing in Christian Kirk was huge.
Christian bringing in.
They traded for nothing for that trade. I think was it a 5th-round draft pick for Christian Kirk?
Yep, and Christian Kirk on the Jags roster, he should have been their best wide receiver, and he wasn't.
Maybe he just didn't want to be there.
Hey, he chased the money. He didn't. He wasn't chasing a championship.
His fault.
That's for damn sure. He said, "Oh, they're going to throw me $17 million a year as a slot receiver. Sign me up."
Exactly.
I'd sign up too. I don't care.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'll sign up to ride the pine for $750. What are you talking about?
Yep.
Yeah.
I ain't proud. I'll take a little less than $1 million.
Yep.
Now we're to the NFC South, Will's favorite division, and starting from the bottom, and he gets to start it off. It's his Panthers because they're full of shit.
You're full of crap. I think there is an improvement with the Panthers this year. I think it's going to be between 6 and 8 wins. I think I want to say 8, but I'm actually going to say 7.
All right, I like the honesty.
They're trending up slowly.
Right, Bistrella.
If you look at that division, I mean, New Orleans is like
Dog water.
Yeah. Atlanta is, I don't know where Atlanta's at. They don't have a good quarterback situation going on either. Then you got Tampa Bay, who's probably the most solid team out of all the teams in that division.
Mm-hmm.
I do have Carolina playing really well this year. I do have them going 9 or 10 wins.
Wow, nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Adam.
Well, they only brought in one rookie that's going to start probably, and that's McMillan, obviously.
Yeah.
Adam Thielen, he's getting up there in age, but he's still a trustworthy receiver. Kind of like Keenan Allen a little bit. He pretty much catches everything.
They just signed Renfro too. Renfro.
He might take Thielen's spot.
Renfro took a year off, so it's going to take a while.
But Jimmy Horn
Jimmy
Horn has been showing great signs too. Let's not leave him out.
Thielen said this is his retirement year. He's doing the retirement round. He's playing every game.
No, I said Renfro had a year off because he was still recovering
from
like injuries and stuff.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I like Jimmy Horn. I like Jimmy Horn. I like him in the slot. I mean, they're saying he's looking decent right now, but there's no pads on. There's no coverage. There's light coverage, and with this whole panel could look good against it, unless you're. I can see 8 to 9 wins. I really could, and I'm not a big Bryce Young fan, but I can see 8 to 9 wins. He really started slinging that rock around towards the end of the year. Last year, he looked like a totally different person after he got benched. I can see 8 to 9 wins. I really could.
Well, that's because Dave Canales took him in the back office after practice and squirted his QB juice all over him, just like
God
Baker.
Well, if that's not a titty moment, I don't know what is.
All right, Jamie, your turn.
Actually, I think Mr. Dave Canales is part of the reason why
Bryce Young
is why right. Dave Canales is part of the reason why I actually think Carolina's going to eventually turn it around. I'm going to say 8 to 9 wins. I think Bryce Young is, after that benching, I think he's finally showing why he was picked number 1, saying, hey, CJ Stroud, wait a minute, I'm still in this quarterback class too. And I may not be as flashy as you, but I can play with the rest of the class too, buddy. Basically, that's what he's showing. And I think I think you can knock on wood he doesn't get hurt, but I think you can end he's too small bag of bones, he's skinny type of jokes, but because I think he has a big offensive line around that protects him, and I think he's a very smart player, and he puts good touches on the ball. Like I say, Dave Canales is basically a a quarterback whisperer everywhere he's been before he was a head coach at Carolina, like what he did with Geno Smith at Seattle, and then what he did with Baker Mayfield at Tampa. I think that quarterback whisperer mentality he was able to do that with Bryce Young after the benching. So
right, and that's basically what I was talking about, the QB juice thing. It was a joke about him being that good of a QB coach. Yeah. But yeah, I have them in that 8 to 10 win range. I think their ceiling is 10. I think their lowest they'll be is just below 500, just because I think their roster is that much more improved than last year's roster with their additions.
It's the same roster, Jim.
They had 8 draft picks, dude.
Right, but it looks to be the same starting except for McMillan.
Adam, they drafted a guy who's projected to be like Brian Burns. I'm a Panthers fan. I've studied our team.
They got Nick Scorton too.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're not bad. So. We've changed a bit.
And they got a good offensive lineman.
No, I was just saying, like, according to our lads, the only thing the guys you brought in, the 4 you brought in, are going to start on defense. And the only one that's the upgrade, which I think Rico Dowdle could be the starter over Hubbard, but that's just me. The only rookie that looks to be starting will be McMillan.
Oh, on offense, for sure.
Well, on defense, you're saying that our lads might be wrong, that it's us.
Scorton and the Princely something or other.
Yeah, we're not even he's probably going to play flag football for a different country.
No, he's not.
No. that guy
Brian
I don't know.
If he'd have came out the year before, he'd have been a first round pick, is what they were saying. That guy was right up there with Laiatu Leitu, and he decided to go back to school.
He's 6'4", 244 pounds.
I understand it, but his production was like Laiatu Leitu, is what I'm saying, that year. They were projecting him as a first round talent, but he got hurt at his pro day. Instead of hurting his draft stock, he went back to school.
Yeah.
Smart move.
Sorry, Jeremy. Go ahead.
That being said, like
we all have Carolina at 8 to 10 wins. What the hell's going on here?
Yeah, because I think they're that much more improved. I do, and it's because consistency in coaching. They didn't have a lot of turnover there. That matters in the NFL. Next up, third place, and they didn't even deserve it. They accidentally got it because the Panthers played them twice early. The New Orleans Saints. I think this is the bottom of the division. Go ahead there, Jamie. What do you think about the Saints?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes, you.
I think it's going to be interesting with them. Derek Carr retired. They're going to have a very young quarterback room. I do think the one good thing, they're going to be set up for long-term success because Kellen Moore, I think, was a good hire for them. And who knows? I think with the quarterbacks they have now, maybe he brings a version of the tush push over to the Saints after he learned it from Philly. So it'll be interesting if the Saints do it now too, because Tyler Show and Spencer Rattler, they're mobile enough, I think, to do it, and they drafted some big linemen, I think, to be able to do it. But I think I see 4 to 6 wins with this team. But like I said, I think this is a long-term build with the Saints with Kellen Moore.
All right. Adam.
I don't know what's going to happen here. Apparently, the Olave trade rumors I picked up here in Pittsburgh. So I don't know if Olave's even going to be on this team in the start of the season. Pittsburgh is in talks with them, but we've heard this before out of Pittsburgh, and they just ended up all blowing smoke. But Olave was not good when Derek Carr did not play. His production went so far down because, I don't know, if Rattler couldn't throw the ball or what, but
he got hurt against the Panthers, didn't he? Like concussed.
Right, and then he came back and got another concussion. But when he did play without Carr, the production was really, really low.
Well, level of QB play does make a difference in a wide receiver's production. We've seen it before. But
I'm saying 5 to 7 wins. I'm in that category, and that's pushing the 6 and 7.
Yep. All right, B. What about you?
They have. I mean, there's a whole bunch of players come back from injury. I mean, they were decimated by injuries last year, mostly on the offensive side of the ball. I think Kamara was the only one that was fortunate not to get that injury bug. But in saying that, they don't have Derek Carr anymore because he retired. They got to choose between Spencer Rattler and Shook. That I don't know why you pronounce his name that way, but that's what he pronounces it as. So, but anyway, so I don't know who's going to be coming out of that, and that unstable quarterback play is probably not going to lead to a lot of wins for the New Orleans Saints. I think their defense will keep them in a lot of games, but other than that, I think they're going to win probably no more than 5 games.
All right, Will.
4 to 7 wins. I got them at 4 wins. I'm not sold on Rattler. I hope it's Tyler's show. I think Rattler was overrated in college. So 4 to 7 wins, 4.
I'm kind of in the same boat. 4 to 7 wins. I'm leaning 5. I think they're the bottom of the division and possibly the lowest pick in the NFC next season. I think they might be the first pick in the NFC, not the first pick overall, because I think the worst team is in the AFC, which we already talked about, is the Titans. So, Spencer Rattler, they called him Mahomes Jr. when he came out. They should have called him like Mahomes the 8th because his play hasn't even developed yet.
Yep. I agree.
So, on to the next. We got the Atlanta Falcons. Will, your turn.
I can't stand these guys. I got them between 6 and 9 wins. I got them at 7 wins.
All right, B.
Another question see if Penix can have a full-time go at the quarterback position. See if he can do something with that. They got better on defense. They have a defensive-minded coach. Although he got thrown on the bus last year for their defense, but I see Atlanta probably being the 3rd place team in that division, probably winning about 7 games.
All right, Adam.
3rd-year receiver Drake London. Obviously, is Penix going to be able to get the ball there? They did look a lot better towards the end too, with Penix being the quarterback, obviously. But I don't know. Like, I don't have much faith in Mooney or Ray.
Don't forget Kyle Pitts.
Dude,
I'll be back, JB.
He's a horrible option.
I know he is.
And I don't know why.
I think he's a distant cousin to Julio Jones and has the same allergies in the red zone.
They don't throw to him. They don't throw to him, and I don't know why. I really don't.
Look at Penix. He didn't use his tight end when he was there in college.
So I'm gonna go in the window of 6 to 7 in that window.
All right, Jamie.
I'm gonna say between 7 to 9, and I'm gonna go with at the most 8. Michael Penix Jr. did show in a small sample size that I think he could play. Now it's just up to him to do it, knowing that he's the guy this year, and I think he knows he's the guy. They got a good culture in the makings with Raheem Morris as head coach. I think his reputation for being a defensive guy will help their defense improve, and I think he has a system in place.
You don't think the 3 rookies are going to hurt them, Jamie?
What?
You don't think the 3 rookies that are going to be starting are going to hurt the Falcons? You got Walker, you got Pierce, and the free safety.
Those are plug and play in guys for their defense. I don't think it will.
And it looks like they're going to be starting though, just to let you know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's your prediction. So I have them at 6 to 9 wins at best. I'm leaning towards 7 or 8 at best. I think they have the chance to be the second or third place team in the division because the Saints are taking the bottom. I don't have faith in Penix because he didn't, just because of him not liking tight ends, and it showed up at the end of the year because all the tight end touchdowns that they had at the beginning of the year when it looked like Kyle Pitts was going to be a good fantasy option was when Cousins was healthy. So
right.
It looked like finally Kyle Pitts was turning into a red zone weapon. I was like, holy shit, he had 2 out of 3 catches in the red zone.
And they were both for touchdowns in that game.
Yes, they were. And then he disappeared the rest of the season.
You don't have to tell me, Jeremy.
He turned into Julio Jones again.
The one thing I didn't like, just to add a point for Atlanta Falcons, what I didn't like was their last game of the season when they lost to Carolina, when they needed to win that game.
Right.
And I think they were too busy. They were too busy score watching, and they should have been out there playing football.
Right.
Carolina shouldn't have won that game. Atlanta should have took that game from Carolina. I'm just saying, and that's a reflection on your coaching. That's what that is.
Yeah, I think keeping Raheem Morris when there was some much better coaching options available out there, they could have went that way and started over again. I think it would have been better, in my opinion. But it is what it is. Jamie, we are now at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What do you think of them? Winning the division again?
I think so. I think they're the strongest. They're the strongest link in a weakest link division. Baker is always going to be Baker. You know, when they run that. One thing I like now is well, they don't have Leon Cohen anymore, but when Cohen took over, he kind of molded that air raid offense that they run and actually put a running game in it. And I think if they could keep molding that air raid with the run, they could be a special offense. So I'm going to say 9 to 12 wins. I think at the most 12 and at the least 9.
Okay. Adam.
I love the addition of Ibuka to give Mayfield another weapon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to get him in the draft 2 days from now. We'll see. I do have the 5, 8, and 10, so I have a good shot at it. I have them at 11 to 12 wins. I'm with Jamie on this one. This is their division to lose, obviously.
All right, B.
I think they're going to be fighting with Carolina for the number 1 spot in that division.
Well, are you hearing this?
And then I think that they'll get. I've seen Tampa Bay's schedule. It's pretty tough. They have to play us. They're not winning that game anyway. They're going to be fighting for Carolina for that division title. I think they're going to be 10-7 as well. I think they're going to just dip a little bit lower. I think because of the losses of some coaches. I do like that, like you said there about Adam, about the wide receiver addition. That guy's perfect for that offense.
Absolutely.
He's gonna make some plays.
And he doesn't have to change much colors either. Red and gray.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, Will.
Tampa sucks. 5 wins, right, Will?
I've got to go right after this, but I got 9 to 12 wins. I got 10 wins as well.
I said their floor is 10 wins and their ceiling is 12. They're just like the Lions. They're in that spot where if they sneak one out somewhere outside the division, they might even hit 13 wins. But I have them at 11 wins. I think they're winning the division again. I think it's, and I agree with B. I literally think it's going to be Bucks, Panthers, anybody but the Saints.
I've got to go though, JB.
All right, Will,
Will,
shout
nice
out your
seeing you
channel
again,
before
man.
you go.
All right, Will.
W Boggs 18. I do sport. I used to do sports cards, but I do comics. I talk sports sometimes, and yeah, you can catch me here on Wednesdays and Fridays.
Yep, and there's BCP with the chipmunk cheeks because he's munching again. But anyways, have a great
Bye,
night, Will.
everyone. Good night, everybody.
Night.
Night, Will.
All right, B, go
This
ahead.
is
and tell
really
us-
dark. I didn't realize how dark this camera was.
Go ahead and talk about your channel now because we're at the end. I'm getting ready to do sponsors after this.
So I'm doing one ass cheek and three toes. That's the OAC 32
great
is
name.
3T is. And that's on Sundays at 4 p.m. This week we're going to be doing speaking of the AFC, we're going to be doing the AFC East there. Oh, Jamie, you are welcome to come aboard too if you want to give your 2 cents about the Buffalo Bills, because they will be in front and center in the AFC East debate. And we're going to have Pats fans on. I have another Buffalo Bill fan on there and a couple of Dolphin fans. We might have a Jet fan on
What is
there.
it?
One ass cheek, three toes. It's on 4:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday, if you can make it.
Okay.
If you can't, just let me know. I'll send you the link. Yep. And then the next week it'll be. I got the schedule.
Sunday's my busiest day, though. I got to do a lot of work there.
That's fine. If you can, you can. If you can't, you can. I understand. On June 1st will be the AFC West, and on June 8th will be the NFC West debate. The AFC South debate will be July 27th because we got to save the best division for the last one. I don't know what's wrong with the South divisions. They just suck.
That's why I like
thought
football
football was
the-
part
Yeah,
of
but
this.
they're fun to watch still, though, because they suck so bad. It's like, oh my gosh, there's actually going to be possibly a team under 500 in the playoff.
It was kind of like last year. It was fun to watch the Bears find new and interesting ways to lose.
Look, the Bears got. I don't even want to talk about the fucking Bears.
All right,
Look at
Adam.
If teams
Adam.
would have kept playing football in the second half, the Bears would have got blown out so fucking bad.
I
Instead, they
know.
went to this prevent wins and made the Bears look like a great fucking team.
That was with Matt Eberflus. Now they got Now they got Ben Johnson as head coach.
Who's an off-
I'm just saying. Caleb.
Well, when
Caleb-
Eberflus left that team when they fired him. I left the team when he got fired. That's when that defense went down the drain.
Yeah, it went to total shit after he left. It was proof he was the defensive genius behind that defense, because they were at one time right up there with the Lions in scoring defense, and also they were way ahead in yardage defense at the time.
Then Jeremy, me and you talked about it when Williams got that penalty against him, and it wasn't even a penalty, and that motivated the Bears for more.
Right, and that on top of that, if you look at the way that defense fell apart, they went from 3rd place to 8th in 6 weeks' time. That's a huge drop. But Adam, go ahead and shout out your channel and your shows that you do.
Obviously, we know we're on my YouTube, on the channel's YouTube channel, Driving to the Top Productions. Jamie's there. I'm there. You can get me at Sports Talking It. I'm not high tonight, guys. Last night I was high because I was running late and I didn't have time to type in all my stuff. Driving to the Top. We ran the show on that channel tonight. I'll have to see if we got any numbers on that. Jeremy, obviously, I ran it to your show. See if we got anything going there.
We got 3 people watching currently right now, and on your Twitter we have another 4 at this time. But the viewers will go up overnight like they always do, because I think this is a second. You have more of a second shift crowd or a central.
I have, believe it or not, I have a more of a West Coast route, and that's because of Gina.
Yep,
Love
Rick
to go to
Diaz
that.
just popped in. German, good evening here. 921 here in Chicago. I'm a diehard 49er fan. Let me say hi to the Detroit Lions, Minnesota Vikings, and the Colts want to say hi. Thank you, Rick Diaz. That's one of your guys. I'm pretty sure.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That's the Niner. That's one of the Niner guys. Gina brought him aboard a long time ago, and he's been here ever since. So, but yeah, Jamie.
Yes. My channel for podcasts is Driving to the Top Productions. And then you can follow me at Bill's Chat 1 at Bill's Mafia Chat, and also Jamie Malloy, the unbiased journalist, at DJ Dog Tags on X, theforkball.com, and stadiumrant.com, where I write about all sports. You guys can catch me at Joe Dalio every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock p.m. on Driving to the Top Productions for our Subway Conversation Chat baseball podcast. We just did an episode, recorded an episode last night, season 2, episode 8. Go catch that on YouTube. You also can check us out check me and Adam, Jeremy on Driving to the Top Productions at 9 o'clock the following hour, where we do open sports night. We did a pretty awesome show last night that you guys can check out. And then you could also see me and Adam for a while now here on Smoking Jeremy B channel and his podcast. And then we're back, Jeremy, Adam, and I, and Marcus, every Thursday night for our UFL show on Driving to the Top Productions. So thank you guys very much for listening. Don't forget to subscribe to all of our YouTube channels, like, comment, ring the bell for notification, and for more content on any whatever platform we're on. You can visit YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, X, wherever you consume your podcast. Thank you guys very much for listening, and we'll see you next Wednesday. And this has been NFL Round Table Talks. Good night, folks.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. This has been the NFL Roundtable Talks, and it is time for our sponsors, because you know what? It's fuck them guys in the rest of the division, and I love doing this, and everybody loves to hear it. And we're going to start at the top of the division, right behind the Lions. We had the Vikings. 14-3. They got skull-fucked by the Lions twice. And in third place, at 10-7, it's FTP. Fuck the Packers. They got screwed twice, too. And at 5-12, fucked by everybody but the Packers twice in the division. It's fuck the Bears.
Love it. Love it.
And this show came live out of Flint, where the water's shit, but the tires are good.
What do you mean? Obama drank the water.
I want to thank everybody who is watching, and as I always say, because I do this for everybody, and I don't care what team you're a fan base of, try every day to be a better person than you were the day before. It's the only way to make the world a better place, unless you're talking about a rival fan base.
Yeah, yo, it's game time, ain't no messing around. Huddle Sports Network, the best in town. From NFL rumors to the latest trends, we got all your sports, just tune in, my friends. Catch us on Roku, Fire Stick, take your pick. Facebook, YouTube, where the action's slick. Daily shows that drop like a bomb. From 10 to 11, it's Ken and Ken, stay calm. Huddle up, catch the vibe, feel the rush. Get your news, get your fills in the clutch. Over 27 podcasts, we breaking it down. Join the team, Huddle Sports, wear the crown. Live every weekday, it's how we roll. Lions Talk with Jeremy B, we taking a stroll. From 11 to 12, don't miss a beat. We break down the game, make the info sweet. The Daily Huddle Podcast, noon to 1. CST Zone, we're just having fun. Toss your doubts, we bring the facts. Tune into the Huddle.